going to do a forward fold. Feet about hip width apart, knees are soft, and just kind of sway from side to side. Getting some movement in through your spine, warming up through your shoulders, some subtle core engagement. And then settle into center. And tuck your tailbone rolling up one vertebrae at a time. You're rolling out your neck. Making sure you're under your anchor point. We're going to hold on to our hammock. And we're going to do some hip circles. So you're going to bring your right knee up to your chest. Bring it out as wide as you can and create as big of a circle as you can while trying not to move this hip. These are called controlled articular rotations, or hip cars. And try for 5 of them. So we're going to do 2 more. You're really focusing on keeping your torso still. Okay, good. We're going to go into a high lunge. So take this right foot, step it forward, and step your left foot back. Still in your wrist wrap. In a normal class, I'd make them hold or do pulses, but I'm going to be nice now. And instead, we're just going to go straight into those stirring the cauldron or stirring the pots. So I want you to reach your hands forward and then leaning over towards the windows, making as big circle as possible, bringing your hands into you, towards you as you back bend, and then leaning forward again. We'll do 5 in total. So this is 2. 3, 4, 5. Okay, next time you're reaching forward, pause there. And now we're going to reverse it. So bringing it back out to the windows and around. 2. 3, 4, 5. Coming back up into your high lunge, you're going to scooch your foot back just a little bit so we can come forward into our warrior 3. So you're going to reach your arms forward, lengthening through that back leg. And we're going to take some knee tucks. So you're going to draw your knee in towards your core, and then you're going to extend it back out, keeping your torso facing the floor. Tucking your knee in, extending it back out. Pretend we did 5. Now tuck your knee in, roll up to a standing. Take your hands out of the wrist wrap. Make sure you're behind your anchor point. Then place this foot into your hammock. The foot.
Oh.
I know, I slid out too. Then we're gonna go ahead and reach up, step into the hammock, engaging your back muscles, and come into our tree pose. So bring your foot behind the hammock and then in front of the hammock. And then take your same side, so your right side, bring that arm in front of the hammock. Resting into our tree pose. Finding a moment of stillness. If you'd like, you can bring that foot up higher. Just don't let it press into your knee. And then we're going to take some tree pose variations. So we are going to reach up with both hands, bringing our shoulders in front of the hammock. We're just going to lean away from that bent knee, coming into a side stretch or leaning tree pose. If you feel strong in your grip here, you can release your right hand, bring it to your right leg, making a pretty hand. And then if you'd like to try a little swing, reach up with your right hand onto your right pole. And then you're going to release your left hand onto your right pole and swing, wee. Coming back through center, grabbing back on with both hands, and stepping back down onto the ground. Taking your foot out of the hammock, Feet back on the floor. Make sure you're back under your anchor point. Find that forward fold again in your wrist wrap. Swaying from side to side. Making sure not to use your grip here. Wiggle your fingers. Give them a break. Coming back through center. Softening your knees and standing up. And we're going to come into those hip cars. So holding onto your hammock, raising your left knee up. Bring it up as high as you can, out as wide as you can, and behind you as far as you can without moving your torso or your standing leg. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good. Okay, so you're going to step your left foot forward a little bit. Step your left leg back until you are in a high lunge. Let this fabric slide down your hands until we are in that wrist wrap again. Good. So coming into warrior one, so dropping that back heel, and then doing those stirring the pots. So reaching forward, making sure that knee is over your ankle, and then leaning out to the side, coming back around in a big circle until you can lean forward again, doing 5 in total. Nice and slow and controlled. Next time you're facing forward, pause and reverse the movement. So bringing it in towards you, reaching around for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Standing back up. Staying in your wrist wrap, but make sure your foot is centered under your anchor point. Come back up onto that big toe. And then we're gonna come into our warrior 3. So reaching your arms forward, straightening that back leg behind you. And we're gonna do those knee tucks. Tuck in for 1, 2. We're gonna pretend it's been 5. So you're gonna bring your knee all the way in, standing up. You can take your hands out of the wrist wrap. Make sure you're behind your anchor point. And then step that foot into the hammock. Good. Reaching your arms up, pulling yourself up. Bring that left leg behind and then in front. Take that left arm, bring it in front. And once we have that hammock in front of our thigh and behind our shoulder, we are locked in. If you prefer, you can take that hand up, that leg up higher. Find a moment of stillness. And then we are going to reach up with both hands. Bring our elbows and our shoulders in front of the hammock. You can stay here, or if you'd like to test your shoulder strength, get a nice side stretch, bring your hips forward and lean to the right. If your grip feels strong, you can release that left hand, bring it to your knee. If you'd like to take a swing, bring that left arm back up, release your right arm, and grab under that left hand. Once you swing back to front, go ahead and stand up and lower yourself back down to the ground. You're moving your foot from the hammock.